Let's let it happen. Let's not waste up our time pretending we're not in love.
Welcome to a new edition of the Neon Jazz interview series with Kansas City jazz pianist Leslie McLean on the 2020 Live at the Black Dolphin CD and the new COVID-19 jazz world we're in. We caught up with her in mid-May 2020 to talk about all of this and this brand new album with Kansas City singer Molly Hammer. There are great revelations and talk of hope. She has delved into plans she's had, things to look forward to, and a whole lot in between. Enjoy.
Hi, Leslie.
Hi. How are you doing,
Hey.
Joe?
Hey. I don't know, probably as good as all of us right now. How are you holding up?
Well, we're holding up pretty good so far. I mean, it's it is what it is. My gosh. I joined the Jazz Ambassadors. I'm the treasurer on their board, and we're sending out relief checks to musicians as fast as we can get them out.
Oh, great.
And they have some other things going. They have a virtual tip jar. People can go in and donate, and then anything we take in donations right now is going into the Musicians Assistance Fund. So, that's kind of what I'm doing right now. I'm like writing the checks like mad.
Well, that's good, and I've heard that. And the one thing that I find unique about this time period is there's been so many voices and so many, interesting insights in all of this. And the one thing I heard that was really interesting recently was anybody that's releasing material during this time is going to probably be in a very special category. As weird and as ominous as it is to have things happening during this time of like ambiguity and surrealness and all of that, you have a very great album celebrating probably one of the most important clubs in Kansas City with a phenomenal singer in Molly Hammer. So you actually have this thing, which obviously you can't back up live. So I was very excited to see this, and I just want to kind of talk to you about this in this COVID-19 world. But let's start off with something positive, and let's talk about this album and how it came about, kind of give me an idea of this recording.
Sure. John Scott is really the driving force behind this project. I had never met Molly. Of course, I knew what a fine singer she was, and she is. And I knew, that she was a heavy hitter here in Kansas City, which, frankly, I am not. So when John Scott suggested that Molly could sing some of my original material, I was like over the moon with delight. And that's really how it came about. We learned the songs, and so we had lots of rehearsal time, which was way fun. And then we worked at the Green Lady. We were at the Green Lady on Sundays for the early set. And we did that many, many times. John, booked us in there so that we could work on getting more familiar with the material. There's nothing like playing it out, So we did that for several weeks, and then we went into the Black Dolphin to record live. And that was very exciting. So it was so very nerve-wracking. But I think it turned out really, really well. And of course, having Molly sing my songs is just, it's just beyond wonderful. I mean, she did such a great job. And I myself am not a singer. I would say what I am is a vocal stylist. So to have somebody like Molly who's got serious pipes there sing the songs was so fun. It was great to hear what she did with my songs. So that's how it all came about. It's really John was a key influencer here. He was the driving force behind this whole thing. And then Molly, of course, to agree to do it was great. I mean, I really appreciated that.
You know, that's the thing about him. When I think about what's going on in the world and what the reality of things coming back, he is going to be very key to this revival of jazz live when that does happen. And I just think about how vital both the Green Lady and the Black Dolphin is, and probably how seminal this is that it's being released during a time where, you know, it's probably bittersweet because a lot of people are missing and craving that live interaction, but you actually have a recording that's celebrating that notion.
And I'm so glad that it came out. Ken Laverne has been really working on it, and I'm really happy that it came out at this time. There is going to be a physical record eventually. It's just right now, and what a great thing that we can release it digitally. It's really a great thing, and I'm hoping that people will, take a listen and enjoy, because Molly is wonderful. And we have a kicking trio behind her, I'm telling you.
Yeah, well, and she is, and you are, and everybody on this album is. And I think one thing that's very important during this time of supporting artists, and you mentioned at the top, the ambassadors writing checks, is that I think the thing is really buying this music. I know personally I usually get music from musicians, but I've been making a very key point between buying tracks for this album to put on Neon Jazz. I've done it with Clementine, with Jackie Myers and other artists, and I think that's probably something that really needs to be pushed at this time, that, streaming is one thing that's viable, but buying this music is going to really directly help and benefit the jazz musicians more.
I'm hoping that it catches people's attention. So I really appreciate the opportunity to talk to you about it.
The one thing I want to do, too, is I want to kind of focus on a couple of things COVID-related. And when did you notice that this big, huge, massive domino was falling where everything was going to be silenced, like mid-March, early March? What were the circumstances?
Yes, well, I'm a staff accompanist at Notre Dame High School for Girls. And the week of that middle week of March, we had a big deal on that Saturday, which was the festival, the choral festival. It's a solo and ensemble, small ensemble, and it got canceled. And that was like, whoa. And not only that, but if the kids get a 1, which is the highest accolade that they can get, they go on to the state solo and ensemble. That got canceled. So that the whole thing was wiped out. Boom. And then the next thing that happened is Notre Dame closed down and went to virtual learning. My friend and boss, Elizabeth Mulkey, who's the head of the music department there, is still, well, it's over now, but she started to be at home. School closed down, and then from there, it was just, wow. One thing after another, and I think it's been really difficult to be in America at this time because of certain situations that we have to deal with. And I think that, for me, I took this very seriously from the get-go in terms of, okay, what do we need to do to keep safe? So we have our masks, and we have, we have, all of our little things in place to get groceries in and all that kind of thing. And that week, that was when it really hit the fan.
Yeah, no, and I understand. Yeah, everything just kind of happened all at once.
Yeah.
We're going to get to the point where we will return to live music. We don't know when, and it will happen. My question to you is this. What do you hope both the musician and the audience member realizes about this time away? Revelation, things that we come back stronger about.
Well, I think that, number one, we can never take anything for granted. And so when things start to open up again, it's super important for people to go to the clubs, hear live music, don't take it for granted. I just hope that the clubs, the clubs and restaurants and so forth operate on such a small margin for profit, and when they start coming back, we all need to patronize these establishments big time. Some of them are not going to come back from this. And whatever comes back from this, we really need to get on the ball and put things together and get folks into the clubs to hear people. I think that's key in my mind when things start to open up. So yes, go to the clubs, go to the digital, listen to the music, do what you can to help the musicians get through this. And when we start playing again live, come out and hear us.
Yeah. Thank you, Leslie, for the music. Thanks for taking some time out. I really appreciate it. Stay safe and good luck with the album and everything. I look forward to seeing you guys live when all of this surreal craziness ends.
Well, thank you so much for your interest in the album, and it's great to talk to you.
Thanks for listening and tuning in to another Neon Jazz interview, where we give you a bit of insight into the finest singers and players in Kansas City and spots all over the world, giving fans all that jazz. And thanks to Leslie for her time, music, and stories. If you want to hear more interviews, go to Famous Interviews with Joe Davino in the iTunes Store. Visit Neon Jazz at youtube.com, and for everything Neon Jazz all the time, go to the neonjazz.blogspot.com. Until next time, enjoy the jazz, my friends.
Neon Jazz.